Hello, Szara here, and I'm here to have another conversation for the sake of ourselves. So today's conversation is a bit similar to the conversations we've been having about this idea of inviting you into creating a really fantastic, beautiful, sacred even relationship with yourself, to treat yourself with compassion and understanding, and to create a real friendship, a got your back friendship with yourself, and what that would make available. So that's been the previous conversations up until now. Now, this today can be an entirely standalone conversation. You don't have to have had to listen to anything that we've already talked about. This is really a standalone conversation as well, but it does continue on that same theme and that same vein that, having a great relationship with yourself is really worth it. So today's conversation is about you being worth it, about inviting you into this idea of investing into yourself, investing into you and your life, and you mattering, and your life mattering, and your experience mattering. Bottom line, this is your life, whether you're choosing to live it actively or passively. This is your life. This is your experience. This is yours. And here you are. And here you are. And you actually have quite a bit of say in the whole realm of it. Now, we don't have a say in everything, of course. Stuff's going to happen. Circumstances are going to happen. Situations are going to happen. Things aren't going to go our way. Stuff's going to kind of come at us, sometimes come out at us out of nowhere. We're going to get frustrated. We're likely going to want to have temper tantrums sometimes when things don't go our way. We might wish for things to be different. We don't have the entire say of how everything happens, but we do have quite a bit of say in who we are, what we're investing in, and what we're putting our time, energy, and effort in. Like, you always have a say of what you're putting your time, energy, and effort in. Right now, there is $1 trillion industry for your attention. There is so much out there to grab your attention and to grab hold of your attention, because your attention is really valuable. Your attention is so valuable, but are you putting your time, energy, and effort, your attention, onto and into yourself? In today's day, we all experience it a bit differently. It can be a really fast-paced system. It can be something that really demands lots of us. We can have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things we have to do, things we should do. We could be really in a survival thing, just trying to get through the day, just trying to get through the week, just trying to get through the month, get through the year, get to the other side. And then on the other side, oh, I'll exhale. On the other side, oh, I'll relax. On the other side, I'll take some time and invest in myself. Sure. When I get there, I will then. And that can be valid. There are times in our life where our time, energy, and effort is really demanded for something that is an emergency scenario, that something is very urgent, that's something that does require and demand our care. Many of us are parents, and our children sometimes really have certain needs that require something of us and for us to show up. And, we can get really stretched past capacity. We can really not have much available to invest back into ourselves, or to fill ourselves up with, or to include our own interests and what matters to us, put it onto the table and include that, and that's fair. But if we keep doing that for too long, we will burn out. We will get exasperated. We will get resentful. We will get resigned. It does tap our aliveness. It does drain our vitality. We actually have a kind of a responsibility to ourselves to nourish ourselves. And part of nourishing yourself is saying that you matter, saying that what matters to you is also matters. And, what's important to you matters. And this life matters. And your experience matters. Those are ways to nourish yourself. And if you keep stepping over that and not actually including that in after some period of time, you likely will have some negative impacts that happen in your life that do drain you, wipe you out, burn you out, and reach higher levels of frustration points. So, we could go into all of the impacts of that at another time. But really, today's conversation is inviting you into this idea that, hi, this is your life. And hello, you get a big, big say in what your experience is and what you put your time, energy, effort, and attention into and onto. It is yours, and yours to say what to do with. And so I invite you and implore you to include yourself and to include what matters to you and to include what's important to you. Now, this can look a lot of different ways because, wherever you are, there you are. You have as much time, energy, and effort available to put into yourself and what matters to you and the things that you love. I recommend personally taking a pause, whether you think you have time to pause or not, investing in yourself and taking a pause and taking real stock of your life, of all the areas of your life, and say, which areas really matter to you? Which areas are working? Which areas are not? What areas you want to bring your time, energy, and effort to, and what areas you don't. And to start to get a certain type of relationship with your energy and effort, that you're only putting your energy and effort into the things that forward and value you and your commitments and what matters to you, so that you are actually nourishing yourself and feeding yourself and including yourself in what matters to you and finding the room, time, and space to make that happen. Now, we can sometimes say something matters to us, but really, if we actually look in our life, there's no showing up to that mattering. So if something matters to you, if you matter to yourself, take a look. Like, can you see that in action in your life? Do you see any time spent investing into yourself? Do you see any actions taken investing into yourself? Do you see any effort being put in to invest into yourself? And if you can see any time, energy, or effort and attention that you are investing in yourself, are you mattering to yourself? Are you really honestly mattering to yourself? Or are you saying other things matter more than you? A lot of us have been trained to have everything else matter more than us. I don't know, as a woman and as a mother for many years of my life, like, I was the thing that was the least important thing at the table, and everything else mattered so much more than me. And it's like, to even make me matter and to include myself at that table, was something for me to face and take on, because I had a lot of guilt and shame and past issues that I had to kind of unpack and take a look at. And it was really detrimental to myself and my health and my well-being, which then was detrimental to my family's health and well-being. So, sometimes we think we're being, really great by putting others first and before us, but there's usually quite a cost on the whole when we're doing that. So I do invite you into considering including yourself as mattering as much as everybody else around you. Each of us continue to matter.